Men should never have submission on their minds. The idea that a man is just worried and bothered about submission in a woman, or maybe he starts to look for submission in a woman, is not the plan. It's never ever supposed to happen. Women are hardwired to submit completely, unconditionally to anybody that really loves them deeply. And this is the truth. What men should have on their minds and their hearts is love. Like, how do I love this woman in a way that will blow her mind? Like, how do I just express my love and demonstrate my love to this woman in a way that her mind will be blown? And I tell you this, when a woman's mind is blown, even though she was the person carrying the placard for women's rights and women's lib, she will ask you with her own mouth that, darling, what can I do for you? If it's to cook, she will cook. If it is to give you a pedicure, she'll give you a pedicure. She'll spend her money on you. My mother has come to dislike my wife, and they both frequently get into fights over little things as my mother is currently living with us. How can I handle this situation? One thing is that, the fact that your mother is starting to dislike your wife may have to do with what you're telling your mother, because basically you're the one interacting with your wife, and your mother, what she knows about your wife usually comes from what you say. So on one hand, what are you telling your mother? On the other hand, why they're fighting is because there's no clear demarcation as to who you stand with. If you stand with your wife consistently all the time, your mother will put her arms down and surrender because she knows that you and your wife are one. Because you are quiet and you're not taking your wife's side is the reason that your mother has the audacity and the boldness to take on your wife in her house in your presence. And you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to speak up and protect your wife. This is for the guys. If you've hurt your wife, maybe you were cheating or something, or you're still cheating and she's hurt. When she's hurt, she can't really be as nice to you as she could be. And then don't tell her to go away and get healed and then come back to you. That's not going to happen. You are the source of the pain. You have to be the source of the love that's going to heal the pain. So it's your responsibility to do whatever it takes to heal her. And then you can get the wife that you want. 3 signs of a failing marriage. The first sign is when communication breaks down. I mean, that's like a major sign that things are going bad, which means we're not talking, not for a short period of time, but for an extended period of time. That's number 1, just when communication breaks down. 2 is when issues are not being dealt with. One person has an issue and the other person is just not attempting to talk about it, deal with it, or change, or attempt to change, or get help. When just nothing at all is being done about the issue that's being complained. That marriage, that relationship is breaking down. And finally, all these things lead to one thing: a lack of intimacy. Just lack of intimacy. Even though you're in the same house, you are now just strangers living under the same roof, physically present, but you're emotionally absent. You're barely talking to one another. At this point, you know that this is really bad and you need help. You can't do it by yourself. You need to see a counselor, you need to see Piidii to get things back on track. I have an interesting question here. It says, my boyfriend of a month likes me to call him sir because he's 3 years older than me. If we are out and I don't call him sir, he gets really angry. Is this a red flag? This is a red flag. I don't know what's wrong with him. He wants you to call him sir because he's 3 years older than you. It's a red flag. He has issues. He has problems. And truly, you need to get away from him. My advice to you is run. That arguments have rules in marriage. In your rules, you must not abuse, you must not ridicule, and you must not hurt the person. See, at the end of the day, you're arguing because there's a difference in opinion. And all you're trying to do is express your own opinion and come to a compromise. Why must you hurt them? Why must you cut them? Why must you attempt to defeat them? So you want to go to bed with a defeated spouse tonight? No, defeat has no benefit in marriage. A man will have a big issue with you tonight. Then because we couldn't settle, we just go to your house. Then tomorrow morning, we just come, darling dear, he wants to just continue like nothing happened. And the man is like, are you kidding me? The place you left her last night, she's still there. You have moved forward, you want to keep moving. And you guys like, is something wrong with your head? Now, the issue is this. Men, our brains are in compartments. So we have the capacity to put something in a compartment and shut it. Even physically, our brains are different. Women's brains are like Indomie, everything's connected. So that thing that happened last night is affecting today's breakfast. It's affecting how I go to work. So that hurt and pain has just put her on standstill. And the man is saying, what is wrong with you? You don't let it go. You're holding it for too long. It's not her fault. She cannot do it otherwise. Why can't you give your wife the password to your phone? What are you hiding? What is in there? Are you a kidnapper? Are you Boko Haram? What did you put there that nobody can see? If there's nothing there, then give it to her. Share your password with your wife. Congratulations, now you're married, now the kids are here. So what to do? It's very important that you and your spouse agree on how to discipline the kids and what to do with the kids. When you talk to your children, you've got to speak with one voice, one mouth, meaning that you guys have discussed it before and you're saying the same thing. Children are very intelligent. Once they understand that you and your spouse, you have different standpoints, your views are different, they will play games with you. They'll come to mommy and ask mommy for what daddy has said no to. And mommy could say yes, and then they've overturned daddy's decision. So let's understand is that you make up your mind and you work together. Never disagree on what to do with the kids, on discipline, on vacations, on schools, on rewards, on gifts, whatever it is, let there be agreement so the children see you as one. It's so important. I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. Getting married does not make your partner get better. Marriage is not a medicine. If your partner is hurting you or causing you pain before the marriage, do not get married. It gets worse after you get married. It gets worse because at this point, there's no point to prove. You've already signed the papers, everything is done. Everybody actually just relaxes and people get worse. There's no incentive to do better. So if you are experiencing pain or hurting right now and there is a wedding date ahead of you, call it off, postpone it. Do not get married when things are not working because it could be a lifetime of pain.